We'll start off with Gabriel, who's going to take us through the role of education and awareness raising campaigns in promoting behavior change around plastic waste. So welcome, Gabriel, and over to you.
All right, thanks. Great. So hello, everyone, and good afternoon to you all. Thank you for joining us today on this special occasion of World Environment Day. I would want to say kudos to the Trashman team for organizing this webinar and the opportunity to discuss issues relating to plastic waste and how we can deal with this issue. So my name is Gabriel, and I am excited to speak with you on the topic, the role of education and awareness raising campaigns in promoting behavior change around plastic waste. This topic really sounds like a long one, but it's going to be a very short presentation. If what tells me I have just about 15 minutes to do this, and so why don't we just get straight into it? So now, plastic waste, as we know, has become one of the most pressing environmental challenges, and it's actually a global issue because of its devastating effect on our planet. This issue of plastic waste we keep talking about every now and then is more of a behavioral issue, right? And I believe that through education and awareness campaigns, we will be able to make headway in dealing with it. Basically, this is what this presentation seeks to achieve. But before we talk about how education and campaigns can help in promoting behavior change, I think it is important to also emphasize the negative impact of plastic pollution and also why there is the need for an immediate action to be taken. So according to the United Nations Environment Program, 9.2 billion tons of plastic were produced from 1950 to 2017. That unfortunately, over 70% of the plastic waste that were produced became waste. So one would ask, where do these plastic waste go? There are actually four main destinations for plastic waste. One of these destinations are landfill sites, and most of our waste usually goes to landfill site. Another destination are incineration facilities, and over here in Ghana, I'm sure you all agree with me that open burning of waste is still a common thing, and this negatively impacts our environment. Now, the ocean is also another place where plastic waste find their way, and there is also recycling centers, which is of course, dream destination for all plastic waste. But unfortunately, less than 10% of plastic waste in the world have been recycled, and it is a major concern for us all to be bothered about. Now, for many African countries, and even Ghana in particular, single-use plastics have become part and parcel of our daily lives. And whatever we buy is almost always packaged in plastics, right? From the food we buy, getting groceries from some of the shopping malls, all are always packaged in plastic packages. It is estimated that more than 3,000 metric tons of plastic waste are generated on a daily basis, and 1 million metric tons on a yearly basis. Also, about 86% of Ghana's plastic waste is improperly disposed of, and these plastic waste ends up choking our gutters, choking our drains, and subsequently causing flooding. Now, let's look at some of the key parts of plastic waste. Overall, plastic is responsible for 3.8% of global greenhouse gas emissions, and according to the Ministry of Environment, Science, Technology and Innovation, 9% of plastic waste generated in Ghana end up in the ocean. Now, in terms of our social and economic impact, a lot of our fishermen have actually reported catching plastic waste in their nets instead of catching fishes, right? And so it goes without saying that plastic pollution has a negative impact on our environment and also has a direct impact on our livelihoods and also the general social well-being of people. Okay, so now that we have looked at some of the key issues of plastic waste, why don't we delve deeper into the subject matter, which boils down to how education and awareness campaigns can help in changing our behavior towards plastic waste. Like I did mention earlier, the problem of plastic waste is more of a behavioral issue, right? And it takes some amount of effort and also time for an individual to form a new habit. and then also for a new behavior to become part and parcel of the person. There are a number of factors that actually influence people's behavior, and these can be categorized into 4 key areas. Now, these factors play a significant role in shaping people's behavior and also a collective action towards reducing plastic waste. Knowledge is one of these factors, and people need to be aware. People need to be aware of the environmental impact of plastic waste and its long-lasting effect on the planet. As a matter of fact, it will be very difficult for one to change their behavior towards plastic waste if they are oblivious of the negative impact on the environment. Attitudes also play a vital role in shaping our behavior, and people with positive attitudes towards the environment are, more likely to adopt behaviors that reduce plastic waste. There is also social norms, and when we talk about social norms, they simply refers to the unwritten rules and expectations within our society or community. Social norms influence our behaviors, by defining what is considered acceptable or unacceptable. And when it comes to plastic waste, social norms can either reinforce or challenge our existing behaviors. For instance, I did speak about the fact that we keep burning waste indiscriminately. And so if open burning of plastic waste is a norm in a society, you realize that people are more likely to follow suit. But then when efforts are made to establish new norms, people will feel compelled to conform, right? So as individuals, we have to adopt sustainable practices like using reusable bags instead of single-use plastics, or even something simple as carrying reusable water bottles, so that others in our community will also follow suit. Lastly, there is convenience, and it also plays a significant factor to influence our behavior. When we talk about convenience, you would want to consider things like accessibility, things like cost, availability, and also the ease of use. For instance, putting recycled bins at convenient or vantage places, right? Or even providing affordable reusable products. All these examples make it easy for people to embrace sustainable practice. And so education and also awareness campaigns can target these factors to promote sustainable behaviors around plastic waste. Now, it is also important for us to know that these factors do not act in isolation, but they go hand in hand and also influence one another. Now, we'll talk a bit about education, and education plays a crucial role in increasing awareness and understanding of the environmental impact of plastic waste. There are actually a number of different ways to educate people about plastic waste. This can be formal, using the school system, or informal, like engaging in community outreaches, and also our interactions with our friends, family, or even work colleagues. But then I believe having a solid foundation is also very important, and as such, it will be good that environmental education needs to be integrated in our school curriculum at all levels, right? I believe that this will offer a lot of benefits, more especially for awareness creation, behavior change, and most importantly, a long-term impact on education for future generations. Of course, education on plastic policy shouldn't be limited to just schools or students per se. Every individual must be involved. And in your own small way, you can educate your friends on simple things like waste segregation, right? And alternatives to single-use plastics. By so doing, I think people can make informed choices and contribute to minimizing plastic pollution. Now, awareness raising campaigns also helps in promoting behavior change by informing, engaging, and also motivating people to adopt new behaviors and attitudes. Now, these campaigns usually aim to create a sense of urgency, also raise public consciousness, and encourage active participation in addressing issues like plastic waste reduction. You will want to consider using channels such as the mass media, either the television or the radio broadcast, Social media is also a thing that can be harnessed. There's also community engagement and also partnerships. All these things can be used to reach wider audience. Now, talking about partnership, Trashman, for instance, have collaborated with Engineer Results for them to build toilet facilities from recycled plastic waste. And so, in our quest to reach wider audience, it is important to sometimes collaborate with some stakeholders like government agencies, NGOs, and also educational institutions, just to amplify the reach of, the reach and also the effectiveness of our awareness campaigns and also education outreaches that we embark on. There have actually been some successful awareness campaigns that have effectively changed people's behavior towards plastic. A number of them are still ongoing. I'll just mention a couple of them in the interest of time. Just this year in March, the Green Africa Youth Organization organized a campaign on anti-incineration in plastic pollution. There is also the Global Treaty to End the Age of Plastic. This is a comprehensive and legally binding treaty that will cover measures along the entire life cycle of plastic. It is something that is still ongoing, and per projection, they're hoping that by 2024, this will be concluded. All right, so now let's talk about the messages we convey during our education and campaigns on plastic pollution. Now,
yes.
All right, thanks. Great. So hello everyone, and good afternoon to you all. Thank you for joining us today on this special occasion of World Environment. Is also something that we need to, we can also changes in the recycle rate, reduction in plastic waste production, and even most importantly, the changes in people's attitudes and behavior around plastic waste. And so evaluation can be done in several ways, through interviews or even something simple as sending surveys, right? In concluding, I would want to say that leading by example is key. And I believe walking the talk and also, living by example is something that we need to go on. So let us go out there and take actions that will encourage people to adopt sustainable practices around plastic. Thank you all for your audience. I will hand over to you.
Thank you so much, Gabriel. And yes, indeed, we need to walk. And yes, indeed, we need to walk the talk. So now everyone understands when I say Gabriel is so passionate about circular economy. So he's giving us a lot of in-depth knowledge when it comes to plastic waste, and how we can create awareness and education. Yes. So we have some few questions. It doesn't take long, just 3 minutes. If you have your scanner, you can scan this QR code. It takes you directly to the questions. This is just to help us in our research work and some topics that we are trying to address currently. I would also just quickly put the link in the chat box so that if you are not able to scan, you can still just okay. Great. So just 3 minutes, just some very easy questions. Questions, so you can just help us answer these and then help us get more data into for our research work. Yeah, please, if you are not speaking, I'd love that you mute. Okay. So if we're done, then we'll bring on our last speaker. And she's in the person of Emma Forsing. I've told you all about her. She's an awesome person. And she's taking us to the impact of individual actions on plastic pollution. And she's going to tell us how we can adopt some things into our lives to make small changes that will make a big difference. So over to you, Emma.
Thank you, A4. I can't share my screen right now, or put on my video right now, but I hope everyone is doing amazing so far. My name is Emma Forsing, and I am the founder and team lead at Elna Clean Cycle, which is a textile waste management center here in Accra, Ghana. So I'm very, very happy to be here because you rarely find people noticing that we sometimes wear plastic. And what we do is we provide drop-off points for people to properly dispose in the greenery of their pre-loved clothing or textile waste for households and for fashion industries. So we, aside from that, also provide decluttering services. We also upcycle, and we're also into recycling R&D. But I really want to talk more about how the little things we do really impact our society, impact the environment, impact people around us, people we don't even know about. Clearly, we've had beautiful speeches and beautiful conversations from Gabriel and from Suleiman, and we are seeing the amazing things people are doing. We know about the impact of plastic waste on our air, where we burn plastic, sometimes we breathe it, but it's not really our fault. That's what some people can do at this point in their life. We also see plastic waste in our water, which affects, living organisms. Also comes to affect us because we end up eating some of these seafoods, and you find out that some of these plastics are present in many objects that we eat, and it ends up being metabolized by our livers. And did you even know that about 5 years ago, 90% of 259 samples of bottled water contains microplastics? There's so much going on that you do not see that affects your life. Right now, you have no idea how much plastic waste is in your system, but we thank God we are still here today. Meaning we still have a chance to create change, right? So sometimes we wonder what has been done so far. And like I've said, some people are doing amazing things like TrashMart, just providing specific segregated waste collection for plastic. We hear about the Engineers with Borders who are partnering with so many amazing people and creating change across borders. And there's also a company called Precious Plastics. I don't know if you've heard about them. They also help businesses or people set up their own recycling center. And we all know about Global Citizen and the rest. But sometimes you ever just sit down there and wonder, can just anyone do anything about it? Because we have come to believe that some things are beyond us, which is fair, because the truth is so much impact can be done on our own. And on the national level, which is why you realize that certain organizations like WHO, UNICEF, etc., tend to partner with the politicians, or with, what do you call them, the governmental organizations especially, yes, because we are aware that greater impact can be done faster on the national level. But when you come down to the local level, to our individual level, if you think about it, if just 1 million people out of the billions of people in the world buy food with plastic waste today just for breakfast and throw them away, can you imagine how that will affect us in the long run? So this should just give you a greater scope of how the little things you do can really affect the climate and other people. So yeah, I just want to just share a few little things that you can do. And one of them is, which makes me very happy to find all of us on this platform here right now, is to educate yourself on climate change and plastic pollution. Get the data and the facts. Go out there, research, find out in your community what's going on, what are the issues you guys are facing, that people are facing you have no idea about. Learn about greenwashing, because there are so many companies out there that are, people always say, it's capitalism, so you can't do anything about it. But there's a lot we can do. If you're able to educate yourself, you're able to outsmart and pick out the companies that are just lying to us on the front page saying that they're doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, that behind the scenes they're causing more trouble than the good that they are putting out there. So that's another thing you can do. Also, support businesses that are trying to be sustainable, because it's not easy. As a startup owner myself, I just want to let you know that we need all the support we can get. If you see a company trying to be sustainable, maybe changing their packaging material, or trying to sell in bulk more than using single-use plastics, you should just encourage them and support them, buy their items so they can keep doing this. Yes, not everybody has it right on the first try, but you must encourage them. On this same note, I want us to also put pressure on manufacturers, because they're the people that have like the big hand in the mass production of plastics, single-use plastics that are bought, used, and thrown away. We want to encourage them to do much better, keep them on their toes, because it's not, we have to step out of our comfort zone and stop thinking about how, oh my God, what will people think about me? And rather think about how our actions and putting people on their feet will affect our grandchildren or our great-grandchildren when we are not here, right? So keep on pushing on, or even start. Just like point something out. You can do it online. I'm not saying do it in a very violent manner, but just try to just voice yourself out and your concerns. Look out for the things that people are doing. Ask questions, and also create solutions. Yes, we know that so many people are doing amazing things, like TrashMart, like Engineers Without Borders, like so many, even Elna Clean Cycle. But as times are going, population is increasing, there's still poverty, there are certain things that are still going on. People on the lower levels are not really bothered about plastic waste because they have other things to think about, right? So if you have the ability to create a solution, try creating a solution. If you have seen a problem in your areas, in your society, in your workspace, in your home, try and create a solution. You might not get it right the first time, but at least you make progress, and that progress can be amazing in the next 10 years. Let's think big, let's think far. Another thing I want you to try to do is, like I think I've mentioned this already, buy in bulk. Because if you are considering product to package ratio, for instance, you're buying toilet roll, we all use it, no shame, we love to use it. And you end up buying just like the small packs, so just one by one. Some of these are packaged with plastics, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 packets in plastics, but they are larger ones. And of course, sometimes you need money to do some of these things, but fortunately, it's cheaper to buy in bulk. That way you have less plastic for more items. Think about buying in bulk. I want you to practice separating your waste. Yes, I don't know about other African countries, but I know in my country here in Ghana, it's quite difficult and quite rare to find homes, offices, places, aside from governmental institutions that have segregated containers that are designated different types of waste. Try and do that yourself. Experience it. Find out what can be improved, what you don't like about it, and make like as usual. Try and create a solution from that. I also want you to look up recycling centers and other drop-off locations in your area for plastic waste, and we do have TrashMart to help us with that. So yes, we are happy for that amenity provided to us. I also want you to purchase reusable products that can replace disposables. Also, this is just very, very random. I think you probably wouldn't think about it. You probably thought about it and forgotten about it, but try to cook more and bring your own containers when you go and buy your wache, you go and buy food from vendors on the roadside. I don't think you look weird. People would raise eyebrows, and that's a good thing. That's causing people to think. So if you're able to do something that stands out, it's for the benefit of the climate and people, you can force people to ask questions themselves and say, why did this person bring this container instead of like taking a plastic or styrofoam container with your food? Maybe I can try it. Another thing I think you should do is to take part in supporting climate change activism. So I've already mentioned Global Citizen. They work on a global level. But like they send, if you can sign up to their newsletters, then they send a lot of petitions that can help people across borders to with the problems that they are facing caused by plastics or plastic pollution in their countries. Just on the side note, I mentioned my company, Honor Recycle. I know I've mentioned a lot of things that have to do with plastics, and I do want to encourage people to think more about when they are purchasing their clothes, how much plastic is involved in that. I want to think about the type of items you buy. You have the quality of the item, how often you wear it, how often you will clean it or use it, how that impacts your items. And if you want to know more about that, you can go onto our website at green.eln.recycle.com. I can put that into the chat section for you to, just do some research to us, reach out to us if you want to connect and learn more about, how you can impact the climate in your own material. I think that would be all for me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emma. Please ask questions and create solutions. It's very important. I want to introduce my director, my manager, Kuku. He has something sweet, some good news for us, please. Hi, Kuku.
Hello, my friends. Can you guys hear me? If you can hear me, and say yes, my friend.
Yes, we can hear you.
All right. So we have. Productive for so segregate our waste and all that, but I think it's very weak. We know all the processes that we need. We also know that there's also the importance of having technology that we are executing properly executed and made easier and actually faster. So TrustSmart, after doing a lot of research, realized the need for having a product on the market, which is actually a tech product. So we have our web app, we have our mobile application, and we also have our USSD platform, which will enable users to make order for pickups of waste, also give them the opportunity to donate plastics. And then finally, for those who don't have internet and are suffering from internet issues, we give them the opportunity to use USSD. One other thing that we also want to share is a very, very nice surprise for us. So TrustSmart is going to provide us the opportunity to test our product. So everyone here will be given the opportunity to see our products. Have a first view of our products that we are bringing out there. We are hoping that by the end of the test, by the end of seeing what we are bringing on the market, we can get views from us all. We can't do this alone. No man is an island. We are hoping, with the help of us all, to execute and also build a community that will help us solve plastic waste pollution. So we just said we would love to grow with you. So for those of us in Kumasi, which is actually the place that we are at the moment, hoping to expand to the entire nation, we are giving us here the opportunity to have our first waste pickup using our platform for free. So if you are ready, if you are available, for those in Kumasi, please send TrustSmart a message. You can send us an email, or you can ping us right now and then let us know where you are, and then let us know how we can help you have your first waste pickup. So this will be done via the platform. So if you are not using any of the platforms, we will not be able to deliver that service. Thank you very much. We are about to share our final feedback form. Yes, so that's our email that has been shared by Fred. We are about to share our final feedback form. We are hoping that we will all give feedback on how the session went and how they felt about it and what we expected to see next time. I believe that everything that we do is for a purpose. I believe that whatever we are doing would, in the end, make us all happy, sound, healthy, and joyful. Who doesn't want to be joyful? Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.